Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Anime Dudes podcast. I am Riley, aka the Anime Dad, and with me we have
Bjorvio, aka Bjorvio.
Bjorvio.
Sorry, I'm nothing special like the other guy on here, but I am here, so that's something.
um, Fantastic. And today we have another exciting episode, and we are really loving. We just heard a really cool story from a listener, one of Bjorvio's friends, actually. At workmates are talking about how he listened to the episode. He really enjoyed it, and he is looking forward to the next one. So please keep that feedback coming through. We really appreciate all constructive feedback and appreciate positivity. So yeah, send it through Spotify. There's a question button there, or our Instagram pages, which we can put down below. Don't we love it, Bjorvio?
Oh my gosh, we do. Just getting to hear from you guys about man, just the voices that we do, the improv and the conversation, and just how well we've gotten such good feedback already. But I love hearing from you guys. It really makes my week, almost as much as getting to sit down with Anime Dude and Anime Dad and just record this. Like, oh man, I love getting to do all this, and you guys make it better. Anime Dad makes it better. I think we just got a fantastic thing going. So if you like this, like he said, get in contact with us. Let us know. And again, if you have any ideas for improv, go ahead, share it with us. You
Heck
might be
yeah.
surprised if it ends up on an episode.
You've got one of the great voices here with BOVO, so you've got a lot of options, so please send them through. But last week we spoke about the hero killer a little bit, and that was a really, really fun episode to talk about. But this week,
It was.
we're moving on to some of the student versus teacher battles. Is that right, BOVO?
Yes, and for today's episode, what we are going to be doing is we are going to provide a ranking system as to how much we like the episode and think or I guess the fights themselves. So here's what I'm going to do. I think we're going to have one S tier fight each that we get to pick, okay?
Yep.
S tier is like the best fight of them all, obviously. Then we have A tier. A tier is a good fight, not much to say, not many bad things to say about it. It interested us, to grab our attention. B tier is, yeah, it was good, and I liked it. There's quite a few flaws with it. C is and D is, that is so bad, I never want to watch that fight ever again in my life.
I think we can have the same S tier fight. So, I mean, should we start with the lowest tier fights and then move up to the S tier?
Yes. Or either that, or we can just go in order of them.
Yeah, good idea.
That might be easier. Okay, so the first fight we have is Kirishima in Sugar Rush versus Cementos.
This has, for me, I think this is the lowest tier. What was the lowest tier again? It was the
D tier.
D. It has to be. I mean, it was a very quick fight. They both had no strategy going into it. I mean, it was a good. It was for me. It was a good matchup, of course. But I mean, how do you think they could have won that fight? What would their strategy be to be able to maybe throw the other one over the cement or something?
Either that or just, try some flank maneuver. Like one of them goes in, like Sugar Rush keeps breaking down Cementos while Kirishima does a flank attack from the side or something like that. They had options, but it was such a quick fight and they fell right for the trap. They didn't even see that it was designed to test them in that regard. We're just going to brute force. And it's like, no. That is literally what you're not supposed to do.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of what you're supposed to do. And I mean, you know what? You know what word strikes out to me when I think of this fight? Oh, sorry, my mask. It is pride. They both have too much pride. They think they're too strong and powerful to think of strategy. They think their brute force can overcome things. And as we can see, they failed. So pride is before an anime fall.
Great choice of words. I love that. Next we have Sue and Tokoyami against Ectoplasm. And I'll start this one off. A tier, great fight.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Actually, it was good. It was really good. They worked well together, played to their strengths. I think A tier for me as well, due to the fact that I mean they both have really powerful quirks as well, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
But the key which they unlocked was the teamwork. And
Right.
when they unlocked that teamwork, when she spat out her stomach, didn't she spit out her stomach or something like
She did.
that? Which was fun. I'm glad they didn't show it because that would have been yuck. But she spat out her stomach, and it made all the difference. And I mean, I think if I were them, did they try running away initially, or did they just fight the whole time?
No, they tried. I think what happened was they tried to get like they fought a little bit, but also realized that they didn't want to keep consuming all their energy, so they tried to run and just get to the gate. And
Mm,
that's when they got cornered by the really large Cementos or something like
mm,
that.
mhm,
Or not
mhm.
Cementos, that was the last guy. Ectoplasm. And that's what but what I like is both of them had to use all of their quirk to their in very creative ways. I mean, who would have thought that what would have won the match would have been regurgitating something? But that's exactly what did it.
Heck yeah, and Dark Shadow with his I think he's one of my favorite quirks out there, Dark Shadow. So yeah, A tier for us both, and look, the last one that was D tier for you as well.
Yes,
Yeah, all
absolutely.
right,
Not
all right.
not that great of a fight. Um After this we have Tenya Ida and Mashiro, the tail guy, versus Power Loader.
I can start. I'd say A tier as well. I'd say A tier as well, and the reason I'd say that, no, I'd say B. I say B. I'd say B. I move on to B tier, and the reason I'd say that is because they could have easily lost that battle. Um, maybe no. I'm gonna drop it down to C. I'm so indecisive today, but I'm gonna drop it down to C because due to the fact that they didn't really have a tremendous amount of strategy. They have both got great quirks, but they didn't have a tremendous amount of strategy, and they ended up, running away. But I think it could have gone either way. It was a bit of fluke there. So for me personally, C tier. What about you?
You know, when you said A tier, I was sitting here going, let me hear this guy out. I'm curious because the first thing that I thought of immediately was C tier. It's
Yeah.
it, it's just it's I forgot about the fight until I looked at it and I'm like, oh yeah, that was a decent fight. Like both of them did, but like you said, a lot of it was a little bit of a fluke.
Mm-hmm.
So I think C tier fits, honestly.
Agreed. We need to disagree sometime, but I agree with
We
you.
almost did that time.
We almost did. I should have stuck to my guns with the A tier and went for it. All right, the next one you start off, and I'm gonna try
All right.
disagree. I'll try disagree.
This one is Shoto Todoroki and Momo Yagirozu versus Aizawa. And I'm really at a hard place for this because I'm not the biggest Momo fan. And this fight is really more so about her growth, and I like her growth once she comes into her own. I don't
Mm,
really like Momo looking the weak or self confident or like struggling with self confidence look on her. So but towards the second half of the fight, she really comes into her own. Shoto's the same throughout. I love him, but what I love in this arc is Aizawa. This to me is one of the most dad Aizawa moments in the entire anime. Is him kind of letting her, even when she misses the handle and he kind of jumps back and kind of not lets himself get captured, but kind of lets himself get captured. And he's like, no, I jumped back because it was, comes up with some excuse. I'm like, okay, I see what you did. It's either a B plus or an A minus for me. And I think I'm going to go with an A minus.
All righty. Good, good, good. All right, I'll put it at D. just because I want to counteract you. I'm gonna put it at D, and the reason why, I love Aizawa. He should have won that. He's amazing. He's incredible. He's a teacher. I know he had those restraints at the time. He's a very, very good teacher. I know Aizawa's got that quirk. She was making those little flash bombs as she walked. I know Todoroki. He's got that cool suave look. He had a little bit of a plan. But Aizawa's a beast. He should have destroyed them. And the fact that he didn't is it annoyed me. It annoyed me. So I like Momo. I like Todoroki, but Aizawa should have theoretically whipped their butts, and that would have been an S tier fight if it was struggle, challenge. Aizawa completes it and finishes. That would have been A for me as well. But I'll go D with that particular bracket just for fun.
You make an interesting point about Aizawa. I'm gonna have to chew on that to see if I 100% agree. But you've put a seed of doubt in my mind, so enough for me to drop it to B plus.
Oh yes, yes. Okay, some movement.
Well done, well done. All right, this is yours. We have Ayama and Ochako Urarako versus 13.
Okay. S. I'm joking. I'm joking. That's my S tier fight. No. I know you're gonna go the opposite, so I'm gonna go A. Yeah, I'm gonna go A. No, I'm gonna go B. I'm gonna B. And the reason I'm going B, it would be a lot lower. It would be D. But I'm a man of love. And looking at Ochaka's cute little face light up when she thinks about Deku and what would he do in this particular scenario situation. It moved that little Deku gravity love forward. So for me, I got all the feels in that particular fight. I don't care about 13. She didn't do the best. They were holding on. They were about to get swallowed by the black hole. But that little love that was moved forward gives me enough to move it up to B.
Okay, well, I think you're assuming I'm going to go D, and I'm not. But I'm not going to go B. I'm going to go with C. I did really actually enjoy parts of this fight, but number one, it was way too quick.
Yeah.
And number two, it started in the middle of the fight, so we don't really know what happened before then. And C, Ochako, when she lets go, 13's like, oh crap, I can't actually use my quirk on her because then she'll turn into dust. So she kind of has to turn it off. But what I like about the fight is, number one, Ochako recovers really quickly. And actually, I love any time that she uses any of the gunhead martial arts. I'm 100% here for it.
Yep.
So that was actually a really cool moment. And this is really the first time that we see her open up about her feelings to Deku, even if it's just to herself. And she's like, no, Ayame, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, Homeboy actually kind of knew a little bit about what he was talking about. So I don't think it's as bad as, some of the fights that are going to come up a little bit later, or one that's already happened. But is it the most interesting fight? No. Is it a cool fight at the very last moment? Yes. Is that enough to make up for it 100%? No. So I think rightfully it belongs in C tier for me.
Good. I'm glad we're not getting everything, perfectly on point, because that would make a boring podcast, us continually agreeing with everything, because we do agree with a lot of things, but it's good to create some differences. So what's next?
I disagree. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
I'll start with this one. Cool. We have Denki Kaminari and Mina Ashido versus Principal Nezu. I don't know between D and C for me, because I'm going to go with D, because really nothing happens. Principal Nezu just wipes the absolute floor with them. But actually, that's kind of cool. So if we're looking at it from only the student's perspective, it's kind of lame. But this is really the only time we see Principal Nezu doing anything.
True.
So, and I like him.
Hmm.
You know what? No. I'm gonna raise it to. I'm gonna because of Principal Nezu. I'm gonna go with B tier, and I hate myself for that, but it's okay. I'll
Ooh.
find a way to fall asleep tonight.
Okay. Uh I'm gonna go with D tier for this particular battle. I love Principal Nezu. He did a really, really good job. But it's irresponsible as a principal and as a teacher to almost I know he wasn't gonna kill his students, but to almost to wipe out his students to such a degree due to the fact that he has some scars from his time brought up in a lab. You know what I mean?
You're right. Makes complete sense.
That's
I
unfair.
understand that wholeheartedly. All right, your turn with the next one. We have two left each to start with. This one is Jiro and I forget what his name is. Anti-voice versus present Mike.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, my turn to start. Okay. Jiro and Anti-Voice. I forget his name as well. I like that one. I like that one. I chuck it a B tier. And let me explain why. Present Mike, the only negative and downside to it was Present Mike had one stupid strategy, was to stand there and make the students' ears bleed with his powerful voice. His students should have theoretically, I mean, they should have thought that was coming beforehand. They should have strategized beforehand to maybe combat that, but they didn't. But they pulled back, and even though he was scared of bugs, which was a stupid development, they fought tooth and nail and got through. So I'm gonna chuck it on B tier because I like seeing some character development with those two. And even though I didn't love Present Mike's straightforward attitude and their lack of strategy, they still pulled it off. So I'm proud of them. So due to that fact, B tier.
I'm gonna go with C for this one. I love present Mike and I love what's her? I can't. Jiro. I think that's her
Jiro,
name.
yeah.
I love both of them, and for me, it felt like Jiro was predominantly trying to pull her weight in there and was trying to encourage her teammate at the same time.
Mhm.
But he's over here like, oh, I don't know if I can use my quirk. I don't like talking to bugs. It's like, dude, that's your little quirk. Why are you not? Why do you have trouble doing your quirk? Why are you? And I agree that present Mike being that afraid of bugs was kind of nah. So because of that and the fact that Jiro did all this work, she's the one that got injured, and he's the one that gets the gold star of the thing. I'm like, I don't know, but it was cool to see some development from him, and
Hmm.
most things that Present Mike are in, I enjoy. So I think solid C for me.
Who's the voice actor for Present Mike, by the way?
I don't know, but I know I've heard him in other things.
I've spoken to him. I've spoken to him. I forget because I remember hearing it. Might have been Sunny Straight. It could have been Sunny Straight.
That
Yeah,
would have been amazing.
it could be Sunny
We're gonna have
Straight
to look
being.
this up.
I think it is Sunny. Um, Due to the fact that there was a game. There's a game I want to play. It comes out today. Just off topic a little
Yeah, it
bit.
does.
Yeah, do you know what it is?
Yeah, I sent it to my wife, and she knows more about it than I do at this point, I'm sure.
So yeah, My Hero Academia Rumble or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
I think it'll be cool to play
I mean, I'm
online.
downloading it as soon as we get done after this. I
Yeah,
promise you
yeah,
that.
me too. We should do it for sure. All right, what's the next one?
I'll start with this one. I don't know what it is, but oh, okay. This one is Invisible Girl and Tenta Arms versus Snipe.
You start. S tier.
I know. D. No, I'll tell you why. Snipe is an underused hero. I love his design. His quirk is cool. We really only see him in action twice, and this is the second time.
Hmm.
And he doesn't really do much with his quirk. Shoji really can't do anything against him. And Invisible Girl basically wins doing exactly what we thought she would do.
Yeah.
And I don't. It's just I don't really have anything cool to say about it other than I like Snipe.
No, I think I'm the same. I love Tentacle Arms guy, and Ian Sinclair voices him, I believe, which is
Oh, really?
weird. I think he does. Could be off, but I think he does. And I found that out recently, and I was like, okay, what? Um, but and their combination, the teamwork was good. It was short. I'd chuck it up to C tier just to be different. And I'm very, very happy that I am the first to comment on the final fight.
Oh, we have one more each.
Okay,
But
sorry.
because I like you, I'm going to switch it because I actually do have a lot to say about this one. So
Okay.
I'll take this one. You do the final one.
Okay.
Mineta and Sero versus Miss Midnight. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. I don't care about Mineta at all. I know there are some people out there that do. I personally do not care about Mineta in the slightest. Sarah was one of those that I really liked early on in the series, but he's become such a background character that
Mm.
I don't really have much of a connection to him. And Midnight, half the scene she's in, I think she's cool, and the other half she annoys me. And this is one of those where it was an odd combination of both.
Mm.
So did Mineta need character development? Yes, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Did, however, Sero really was taken out of the fight early on, and I don't know. I did not find this fight entertaining in any way, shape, or form. I'm have to put it in D tier. I was trying to make an argument for it to go in C tier, but I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I didn't put it in D tier.
You're talking so negatively about my S tier fight. You know, it's unacceptable. And it's almost enough for the podcast to just end right here. No, no, I'd say I don't like Moneta. I don't like Moneta. I like Miss Midnight's okay. I like that she's got an addition there. But I do like the fact that it went. I like the way the fight went. I like the fact that Moneta kind of took charge, even though he was annoyed. They try to make him have this little motivational backstory of, I want to be a good hero to get the girls. Yeah. You know, which is a bit funny.
Chainsaw Man did it better.
Yeah, they did. He did. And Grape Rush, my top three, finishes. But I'd put it at, just to be different. No, I can't be different. I put it at C tier. Just because I like that Mineta took a little bit of charge, and he could have easily bailed out and let himself get his bum kicked, but he actually took charge, and he won it for them. Even though it was his Achilles heel with it being a woman. And he didn't do the worst job to actually win that for them. So maybe I'll up it to B.
You're right on that.
Mm.
All right, that means we got one more. For those that don't know who it is, it is, first off, go watch this, or second, or just listen to this. But either way, you need to watch My Hero. Katsuki Bakugo and Izuku Midoriya versus Toshinori Nagi, All Might.
Oh, got goosebumps when you say the name. No, it's this is definitely an S tier fight, and I was gonna try and get another S tier fight just to be different to you, but how incredible was this fight? They're walking in there, Bakugo and Deku both arguing with no strategy, Bakugo thinking he can take All Might on, Deku thinking they just need to escape somehow, and All Might starting the fight off with that giant smash, taking the whole town out basically, and showing his extreme power and speed. Incredible. One of my favorite fights in the whole series. And just the way, I mean, whose side were you on? Were you on Bakugo's fight? Do you think they could have had a chance to subdue him?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
There's no way.
No. They
at least not season 2 Bakugo and Midoriya. Maybe later on, maybe, but I mean, there's just no way at this point. Even though All Might's restrained, by some of his and like he's wearing half his weight, which is like what 300 pounds at this point in his muscle form, and he's moving around like it's nothing. He's gone full villain mode, and let's be real, during this fight he should have shattered Bakugo and Deku's spines with how hard he was hitting them. But it just goes to show, like, he takes an explosion to the face and just keeps going. Like, I don't understand what, like, I understand why Bakugo was like, I have to prove something. And I understand that. I get that. But, bro, this is All Might. Okay? You don't try and prove something against All Might.
Oh, sorry, my watch. No, you don't. Sorry, my watch went off. You don't try prove something against All Might. You're completely right. Especially when, I mean, you look up to him so much. I can't imagine a scenario where they, I mean, obviously they ended up escaping. That's the only thing I disagree with. I mean, All Might obviously went easy on them, but the villain All Might that came out was incredible. Can you give us some villain All Might lines, please, Bjorvio?
Sure. You think you are going to escape today and have a wonderful, peaceful day? Well, I got news for you, heroes. I am here to ruin your day. I'd love to see you stand up against me, because all I'm going to do is Detroit smash you into your graves.
Amazing. That's really cool. No, and that's actually one of my All Might as a villain would be terrifying. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
He would be so terrifying because he's got
Forget
that.
All for One. He'd be the best villain in the series.
He would. We need to do an anime with an All Might type villain. I think that'd be incredible.
That would be cool.
Do you have anything more to say about it? Like, I mean, there's so much to talk about. Deku's back almost being shattered. Them finally agreeing to something, to escape and get out of there. But yeah, like I said, I'm probably of the opinion that they should have lost that. Obviously, it would have changed things in the future with them being in the summer school situation. So for the plot, they might have not. But it's All Might. They can't get away from All Might. What about you?
I actually don't mind that they won, because this was such a big moment for both Kachan and Deku because they finally chose to work together. So by that point in time, they had, to my opinion, they already won. They already did what the test was designed to do, which was to get them to work together. So I think because of that, the fact that they willingly chose to work together, it made sense that they won the fight, because they had overcome the obstacle the teachers had put in front of them to overcome.
Okay, that's true. You changed my mind.
Oh, and by the way, this is my S tier in case that wasn't clear.
Is there a higher tier than S?
Because holy freaking Super S!
That'll be my that's my holy freaking Super S tier. I think that covers it well. It covers the tier list very, very well. I think, even though we disagreed on a few, I think we came out on top. And moving into the next season, is it the next season? Yeah, the next part of the next season, which is
the training arc. They do a little bit of like setting up for that at this one, but then they have the like summer school arc, everything, and oh man, that's gonna be an episode, man. That I can tell you right now, that's gonna be an episode.
Yeah, that was. I actually love the training arc, and I love obviously that fight, and the fights at the end. So I'm really.
Is it possible that we split it? We might end up having to split it into two. I don't know. We'll talk about that afterwards.
But we should. And we also need to, I think we need to start streaming on Twitch or something like that. Streaming these conversations. We can talk about it afterwards too. But get some live action opinions from people and reactions from people will be a lot of fun too. So look out for an Anime Dude Twitch popping up sometime soon. And then you can see our faces live and maybe get your name read out and the comments read out live as well. And you could say that S tier All Might versus Bakugo and Deku fight is not for you. Maybe it's a D tier fight for you, and then we'll block you and remove you from the page. That's fine.
Without question.
No, that's fantastic. Well, no, thank you. That's a great, that's a really, really good tier list. And could you potentially take us out, Bjorvio, with a villain, some sort of villain, a character?
Sure. We'll just go back to Villain All Might.
Mm.
All right. To all of you professional idiots listening in, you that want to be heroes, let me tell you right now, it's the villain's way of life for nothing. So, thank you for listening to the Anime Dudes podcast, where the true villains listen in. If you like what you're hearing, please rate us. And stay tuned next week for the next exciting episode, or I'll come and find you, and I'll Texas smash you.
Oh, yeah.